I just think it's a little weird that I've never seen you without your mask.
Well, I don't think it's weird.
Come on, you don't think it's a little ridiculous?
Considering you never cared before, no, I don't.
Ever since playing Halo, though, the thought just stays in my mind, like, you know, Master Chief in his mask, Mr. Kylo in his mask.
And we've never seen his face, so it's going to stay like that.
Well, I mean, he does do it in that live-action show a lot.
Which we both didn't watch, so...
Fair.
No matter what example you have, you're not seeing my goddamn face.
There's gotta be an actual reason other than just no.
There is, and I'm not saying why.
Okay, well, I guess just one day I'm gonna see it. It's gonna happen.
No, it's not.
One day, it's gonna happen.
No, it's not.
One day it's gonna.
Nope, nope, not gonna happen.
One day.
No, no, no.
One day.
On backlog. Been gone for way too long. On backlog. Got so many games to play, dog. On backlog. Donkey Kong expands my dome. On backlog. Me and Kylo been fucking since dawn. On backlog. Did you know that Kylo wears thongs? On backlog. I really fucking hate this song. Yeah.
Alright, what is up guys, it is Robert at Gaming with me, and welcome to Back of the Backlog, the series where we take a look at the games that I recently beat off my backlog. Today's episode is on the game, Halo Combat Evolved. The Halo franchise is a series I have a good amount of history with. When I was a kid, I played a lot of Halo Reach. That was my go-to Halo game to mess around in. I played a ton of multiplayer and a ton of Forge mode. There's multiple videos I uploaded on Halo Reach going as far as 13 years ago when I was 12 playing with old friends on Forge maps.
Halo Super Slide, and there's a glitch inside. I don't know why, but we're underwater. I don't know if you can see that, but we are underwater.
I loved Halo Reach's multiplayer, but never really dived too deep into the campaign or really any other Halo game as much as Reach. I've played parts of Halo Reach's campaign, parts of Halo 3 ODSTs, parts of Halo 4, parts of Halo 5. Hell, I even have a 7-part Let's Play of Halo Combat Evolved on YouTube, getting halfway through this game that we are talking about today, but just never finished it.
What is up, guys? It is we and 360 with me, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play of Halo.
I even started working on a series within Halo Reach using the theater mode with friends inspired by the hugely popular web series Red vs. Blue that started in this very game and created a whole company with Rooster Teeth that lasted for over 20 years. I just never finished a Halo game. Not that I didn't like them, I liked this franchise a lot, and this franchise impacted the industry by cementing Xbox as an actual player in the console race, making me want to dive deeper into it. The game sits as one of the highest rated games of all time at a 97 on Metacritic. Its impact on the industry is huge, but I just never got around to finishing it until now. Not only did I finish Halo Combat Evolved, but I also did finish the newest Halo game, Halo Infinite, for Xbox Series X at the exact same time. The odds of me playing these two Halo games at the exact same time are ridiculously low, like ridiculously low. So it's actually pretty cool that it happened. I experienced the first game and the latest game on the exact same days I was playing, so it kind of creates a unique perspective on both games, I feel. I went from 0 Halo games finished to 2 Halo games finished back to back almost on the same day. I finished Infinite the day after Combat Evolved. As for other Halo games I own Halo 2 Limited Collector's Edition thanks to my stepdad as a hand-me-down.
That was my shit back in the day.
Yeah, I know, you said that before.
What? When?
That was when we played Metroid Prime.
Bruh, that was like 5 years ago? Why do you remember that?
For Continuity. I also own Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, Halo Reach, Halo 5 Guardians, and then Halo Infinite. We'll be checking most of these one day. Halo Combat Evolved was released on November 15, 2001 in the US for the Xbox. It was developed by Bungie and published by Microsoft Game Studios. We are playing the original version on Xbox. I do know that there is a remaster that first released for the Xbox 360, but I wanted to play the original as that's what I had anyway, especially since you can already play this game on Series X via backwards compatibility. Or not. Yeah, Halo. Halo, the game that made Xbox what it is today, is not backwards compatible on Series X. Halo. All because they want to sell the remaster instead. Dumb. It's not the literal exact same game. Oh well, guess we just played on the original Xbox. That's alright. Is this game that literally created the Xbox brand any good? Well, here we are 23 years after its original release. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the story first. Or should I say this booklet first? If there's something I miss about physical games nowadays, it's definitely the game manuals. The amount of love poured into these booklets is crazy. There's a ton of info on the story, characters, enemies, and weapons that you would never know about without taking a look at the manual. It goes super in depth with enemies and their heights, how they move, the weapons, and how fast the ammo goes. It's a lot of stuff that you never need to know, but it's love poured toward this game and makes you think more about individual aspects of the game when you encounter them. Then at the end, someone from Bungie thanks people for supporting them and how their next stop is hilariously world domination. It's so good and unique to hear from this team that blew up essentially overnight with the launch of Halo. I can't actually start the game and story without hearing one of the most iconic music pieces ever created. Holy shit. Now this is a theme that says you are about to play something very special. We first start out on the human spaceship Pillar of Autumn, who just made a random slip space jump to avoid the alien species, the Covenant, being led to Earth. However, it seems the Covenant has tracked the Pillar of Autumn, and now the ship's captain, Jacob Keyes, tells everyone to prepare for their inevitable attack. Yes, everyone. The ship's AI, Cortana, is sent to prepare Master Chief. They awaken Master Chief from cryosleep, and that is who you play as, the Spartan super soldier, Master Chief.
It gives me chills. I respect Master Chief so much with his mask.
You love men with masks?
I didn't say anything about love. I don't love anyone. Not even myself.
That's depressing.
Just how I like it.
This whole intro has the Covenant breaking into the Pillar of Autumn as you take out all the ones you can, shooting your way out of the ship by then taking a lifeboat that shoots Master Chief out onto the ring-shaped planet of Halo. It's a really good intro introducing characters, showcasing how powerful Master Chief is to everyone, the technology that is present with the human AI of Cortana, the cool looking enemies of the Covenant, and the unique planet of Halo. Right off the bat, visually this game is really good. I love the models in this game. The characters look great, especially Master Chief and Cortana. The enemies are awesome. They are big and detailed when you get close to them with their iconic looks. The designs of this world, from the locations to the weapons to the HUD, are super unique and stand out among many other first-person shooters. Some of the skyboxes in this game are genuinely beautiful, seeing the ring shape of Halo all around you, or the huge planets out in the solar system. It really is awesome. When you look at anything from this game and series as a whole, you know it's from Halo. The atmosphere is great with the quiet ambiance and is picked up quickly when action starts, and the music is perfectly mixed in with the scenarios. Controls wise, it feels nice and tight. You can't run in this game, which is honestly a staple for this series until Halo Reach. Because the level design is made with this in mind, I never minded not being able to run, as I feel Master Chief has a good base speed. When entering an area that is a bit more open, there's typically vehicles that you can get on to get around faster, which is always fun. As this is a first-person shooter, aiming is pretty damn important, and yes, it does feel great in this game. The reticles for pretty much all the weapons are pretty big, and so the aiming and bullet spray is quite lenient, and it feels very much like a choice of how to make a tight first-person shooter on a console with dual analog sticks at the time. It feels like that's why the enemies are also chunkier, as like while I said it feels good to aim, it definitely isn't a super smooth aim from more modern shooters, so they made everything bigger in design, from enemy size to weapon spray, to have it feel a lot more better to run around and shoot, or I guess walk around and shoot. But even the smallest reticle of the sniper still feels great to aim around. You'll come across a variety of weapons from the usual assault rifle, the handgun that is actually really useful, sniper, shotgun, the usual, but also very distinct in only a Halo way. That's not all though, as you'll be shooting around with alien weapons from the Covenant. You can pick up and use their own weapons against them, and it is actually quite good against them. All of these weapons are unique. The plasma rifle runs on energy and can overheat when you use it for too long, but is very useful against the Covenant and is pretty much my go-to for a lot of the alien creatures. The Needler is a weapon with this crystal-like ammo that will glide towards its target, and it'll individually stab its target and explode once lodged into its target. That is just super unique, but I actually don't use it too often, but you definitely deal with it a lot, and man, it could be a pain to deal with, as it's not just one damage taken, but essentially double, putting you into some bad scenarios. There's even more, and they all feel different, giving players options as what's your favorite and what you'll typically use. The way the game progresses is through missions following objectives, exploring a variety of locations, furthering the story. It's nothing out of the ordinary for a first-person shooter campaign, and it works for Halo. The first half of the game is some of the best parts, the cool intro and exploring the planet of Halo. It certainly feels like an alien planet with the surroundings, but also as you go deeper into the interiors of what the alien species has built. It's a lot of fun exploring this ring world of Halo, as the mixture of alien technology plus the futuristic human technology creates a perfect sci-fi world. There's something really entertaining about the more linear level design of Halo Combat Evolved compared to the open world of Halo Infinite. I enjoyed Halo Infinite a lot, but I don't think the open world was quite memorable, as most of the main missions end up in some linear level design anyway, and for a good reason. Linear level design, especially in first-person shooters, can enhance the set pieces and can create a great pace. Now, the open world in Infinite falls apart, with a big part being the lack of variety of locations, which is a whole discussion by itself, but you get the gist. There's constant action in Halo Combat Evolved, with well-designed mission structure for a good chunk of the game. Even in a more open area on Halo, there's structure, pulling you towards several locations in an area to rescue some Marines. These Marines will actually team up with you, allowing you to go around with a small squad, and it's a lot of fun even if it's just a handful of times. You can drive around in some iconic vehicles such as the Warthog and have an NPC in the back shooting the Covenant down with a turret. It's actually very helpful, but you also got to be careful around them, as it's so easy to kill them by accident. The funniest thing is flipping the Warthog over, accidentally killing your little squad like, oops, guess I'll keep going, and thanks for the ammo, guy. The best vehicle to drive in the game to me is the Ghost. It's a Covenant vehicle that is fast and hovers around with the ability to shoot out plasma beams to foes. You see more often later in the game, and anytime I see it, I try to go for it, as it's a huge advantage over the enemies. Then you'll even be able to fly around in a Banshee, another Covenant vehicle. This was also fun to use, but it's pretty rare, and in most circumstances I feel it's not worth it, as it's rather slow compared to the Ghost, so unless it's mandatory, which was only for one scenario I can remember, I stick with the Ghost. Some other location you'll go to is this cool snow area. It's just got a different atmosphere, being on a snowy alien planet with the wintry snow particles all around. You'll also infiltrate a giant Covenant ship, taking the war to them as they kidnap Captain Keyes, so you go on a journey to rescue him. There's a variety of objectives, reasons to be in each location that is given. The biggest negative for this game is the repetitive indoor level design. Like I said, there's good, well-designed mission structure for a good chunk of the game, but there's also a chunk of the game that has super repetitive design. I mean, there are several missions in which you go through many duplicate rooms, taking on the same enemies, and it would make me question if I was even progressing in the game. You generally go through an identical room that takes you through an identical hallway in which you are taken to another identical room. It feels like pure padding, lack of development time, and lack of creativity. And I'm sure it's not a lack of creativity, as this game is super creative. but going through a mission that feels overly long because you keep seeing the same rooms over and over again definitely makes it feel like a lack of creativity, which is a shame. In terms of health, Master Chief has an energy shield that constantly regenerates when he's not being attacked. If your energy shield is taken out fully, then you start to actually lose health. You can only recover health by picking up health packs throughout the game. Your energy shield gives you a constant chance to keep fighting even on low health, which creates a nice balance of having to be careful, but also allowing you to keep going out there and fight and not worrying about getting one-shotted. When it comes to the enemies you encounter, they are iconic. There's not a ton of different enemy types within the Covenant. In fact, there's only 4 throughout the whole game, but they all feel so different from one another, and there are some more powerful ones of each type that add some variety and challenge. You got the grunts, who are the easiest to take out, but also can end up damaging you in packs if you aren't careful. They also have the most personality, where they'll run and scream away if they're fighting you alone. The jackals are constantly hiding behind plasma shields that can only really be taken out with weapons with plasma ammo. Elites are tall and fast paced with energy shields like yourself. They mix it up by having some of them be invisible with huge energy swords to hunt you down without noticing if you aren't careful. Then you have the hunters, who are these massive pain in the asses. They are shielding themselves and can only get hurt in super specific areas as they shoot out powerful bombs essentially. Halo's enemies are some of the most iconic enemies in gaming and are a delight to take down.
You know, these are some of the most accurate aliens I've seen in a game made by humans.
Oh yeah? That's cool.
I mean, I think I look a lot like the elites.
Oh, you're basing it on yourself? Then no, not at all. The only other alien that I know is Gonza, and he's a literal dolphin. And that's nothing like the Covenant.
I'm sure Kylo and Niffler agree. No, I don't.
I do not agree, Finn.
Shit. Okay. Agree to disagree.
There's actually some more enemy types that you see in the second half of the game, but that is more spoilerish, which I'm now going to talk about just to let you know. Later on, we are taken to a foggy, more creepy area of the game to find Captain Keyes. Once you get inside this structure, it starts to get quieter and quieter. Less enemies, but more of their blood. Green slop is slipping from several areas. It's eerie. Then, a soldier appears on the wall, shooting at you, yelling to not come closer and turn him into one of those things. Yeah, something is very wrong here. Eventually, you find a video recording on a soldier who died. This shows a group of Marines, plus the captain being rampaged by a bunch of odd-looking creatures. It ends abruptly and these creatures start pouring in. These creatures are called the Flood. They are parasitic aliens that take over the other life forms, including both humans and the Covenant. It was a huge twist that I genuinely knew nothing about and thought it was pretty damn awesome. I love seeing what happens to the Marines, love the horror-esque atmosphere of the mission, and when the Flood started pouring out. The Flood have a few forms, the small ones that gather in big numbers jumping at you, chipping away at your health. They are the easiest to take out. In fact, later on, to conserve some shotgun ammo, I wouldn't even shoot them. I would take the hits because they are pretty minimal when it comes to single numbers, and then just regenerate the shield. You got the ticking bomb ones that once they get closer to you, they explode, so you have to create distance to blow them up. Then you got the bigger dudes that essentially mimic the elites, shooting at you with their infected lifeform weapon, jumping at you to beat the shit out of you. They are definitely the roughest of the three. I thought this was a cool change of pace, until the pace never changed. The next mission, the library, an infamous mission that I didn't know was infamous until I saw online that a lot of people are in agreement on this with me. It's the worst mission in the game. It's a huge pain in the ass with repetitive level design and just a constant onslaught of the Flood. Again, it's the literal same room designs for such a huge stretch, now with Flood enemies that have rocket launchers and shoot you dead in one shot when they see a pixel view. It's just not fun. It's literally go down the same hallway, take on a wave of the Flood. Go down the same hallway, take on a wave of the Flood. Again and again, which makes it feel so long. Unfortunately, these latter half of the game's missions is filled with essentially backtracking through the first half of the game, but the Flood has infested the areas now. Yeah, it's not great. It's not bad because shooting around is fun, but backtracking in areas that were already repetitive to begin with is not good either. It's okay. What propels these sections are the mix of enemies. You'll have the Covenant fighting the Flood, and then you step in and they are both fighting you, while also still fighting each other. It becomes a cool all-out war between species, including even technology. Yeah, even robots are against everyone else as his AI 343 Guilty Spark wants to take control of Halo, but Master Chief doesn't continue to help, so 343 controls a bunch of AI drones to just take out everything in their path. I like the pure chaos, it's great. I just wish the level design we go through wasn't the same level design we've been going through, which I don't think is too much to ask. And once the Flood is involved, it starts to feel like your weapon of choice becomes secondary to the shotgun, as it takes out these hordes of enemies in one good shot compared to a ton of other ammo from other weapons. The final mission takes you back to the wrecked Pillar of Autumn. Yes, we backtrack to the beginning of the game. The goal is to destroy the ship's fusion reactors, the Flood and Covenant troops, and Halo itself to hopefully save sentient life. Yeah, they want to destroy Halo as it's the only way to truly stop the Flood from spreading and taking over the universe, which, hey, that's one way to get rid of the Flood. Once you go around destroying the fusion reactors, which is a pretty sizable area with different fusion reactors to take out, it is then time to escape. 6 minutes is on the clock. Master Chief and Cortana must get the hell out, and the fastest way is with this Warthog sequence. The Flood, Covenant, and robots are all fighting as you try to drive your way out of this ring world. This was a cool sequence, but it's not as smooth as it should feel, as the Warthog's controls just aren't the greatest. Then when you die, you restart the whole section, or at least when the game wants you to. Sometimes checkpoints feel random in this game. I'm sure there are checkpoint areas that will occur if there's no enemies around, but at the same time, in this driving finale, there's a checkpoint midway through that didn't happen one run, but did happen the next run when I straight up ignored the story and kept barreling through. It's a little weird, but I'm glad there was a checkpoint eventually, as the last jump was something I wasn't expecting, so I died for doing what the game wanted me to do, and then had to restart. Yeah, that pissed me off. Multiple times. Finally, I make it to the end and Master Chief runs off to a ship to fly away safely. They zoom out into the galaxy and the world of Halo blows up. Master Chief asks, "Did anyone else make it?" And Cortana says, "Just dust and echoes. We're the only ones left." Feeling a sense of survivor's guilt, she says how we had to do this to save humanity and stop the Flood and Covenant Armada. It ends with this.
Halo. It's finished.
No, I think we're just getting started.
It slowly zooms out with pretty somber, conflicting music, and then the credits roll. That was a really good ending. It was a big decision to blow up a whole planet essentially, and it's not like they truly knew if all the Marines left safely, so they might have killed some of their own men. The dialogue back and forth between Cortana and Master Chief is awesome, with Cortana essentially convincing herself it was the only way, with the stoic Master Chief being silent but clearly affected. And just visually, this whole last scene looks really cool. Honestly, I had no clue they'd blow up Halo. Like, that's the name of the game! You already blew it up in the first game! How did they make another 6 of them? Although in Halo Infinite, you are on Halo, I think. You're on a ring world planet. I don't know. I'm not sure how the story works or connects. I have to play 2 through 5. Regardless, that was Halo Combat Evolved. That was a really good game. It's an incredibly unique first-person shooter that is one of the landmarks of its genre, with its creative world, amazing enemy designs, and fun, inventive weapons. But unfortunately, the second half of the game can be rocky with its repetitive level design and some unfun moments like the library. I can see a top-tier FPS brewing up in this series, but I don't feel this original is quite there for me. Like I said, I do think it's really good, but that second half really does drag it down from being pure FPS bliss. I'm sure that's a controversial opinion for some people, but hey, that's how I feel. Overall, I'm going to give Halo Combat Evolved A Evolved Combat Halo give Gonna I'm overall out of 10. That was a really good game. I'm super curious as to how I'll feel about Halo 2. If the level design isn't repetitive, but you have all the positives of Halo, it'll be a fantastic game, so I'm looking forward to playing it some year. Have you played Halo Combat Evolved? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know down in the comments below. This is the Season 5 finale of Back of the Backlog, and so as always, I wanted to take a step back and look at what we accomplished in the past season. We finished another 12 games. We finished Spyro the Dragon, Far Cry 2, Super Princess Peach, Vanquish, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Max Payne, Beyond Two Souls, Wild Earth African Safari, Endless Ocean, and Halo Combat Evolved. 12 games, 12 different franchises. How many more to go? A decent amount. Thank you for watching any of these, as I love making them. I love video games, and being able to document so many from different generations and genres is something I love to do. Playing classics or hidden gems or shovelware and being able to share my experience with the world is something I look forward to continuing to do. I'm excited to see what the next 12 games will be for Season 6, and I hope you are too. Again, thank you for watching. Halo Combat Evolved was a unique and impactful sci-fi shooter, but it is officially out of the backlog. Do you guys know that this guy won't take off his mask for us? At all? Ever?
Oh, come on, you're still on this?
Of course I'm still on this. How could I not be? It's just weird at this point.
It's never been weird before.
I know, but I just never thought about it. But now that I think about it, it is weird.
Maybe he's just ugly. No, Finn, it's not bad.
Well, then what is it? Just give us a reason.
You won't look at me the same.
You're being over dramatic. I highly doubt that.
Well, this is my face.
What do you mean?
I have no mask. This is my face.
What? How's that possible?
See, you think it's weird, you think it's strange.
Not in a bad way, in a more resolved, but confused way. Like, what do your parents look like? That it's even possible for that to happen?
They're dead.
Kylo, we talked about this. Your Star Wars family is not actually your family, remember?
I know, I'm talking about my actual parents. Okay?
You're an orphan.
Yeah. I guess so.
Okay. Well, so, who the fuck cares? Welcome to the club.
You're not even an orphan. You know your parents and they're alive.
I didn't say I was a part of a club, but welcome to a club.
Jesus.
So what if you're an orphan? You're here with me. Which means you've made it. Or maybe I haven't made it. Maybe you haven't made it. Maybe we both have not made it. Or we have.
What in the fuck are you talking about?
I'm just trying to be motivational, but I guess it's not really working.
Yeah, that was shit. You know, in Star Wars, that's why they had to cast Adam Driver. They thought I wore a mask.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Dude, you got an awesome face. Like, that's your actual face. That's just badass.
Kylo, my whole family's dead. So, I'm an orphan too. Trust me, I get it.
My brother and I have been orphans too for quite a while, so trust me, I understand.
That's a crazy coincidence that all three of your parents are dead. Feels like it's the lack of budget or the bad writing. It's probably the bad writing.